Yeah, just what have your key points of emphasis been so far with the receivers in this fall camp?
The execution more on a higher level. Um, we talk about 75% factor. You know, you got 4 opportunities to make a play, you need to make 3. I mean, like I said, progressively, at the first year that I had when I got here, we were like at about 55%, factor on the season. And then we moved to, last year we went to 65%. This year, the expectation is to be 75%, and that is a stress point. We need to make the plays. That means in the run game, in the pass game, whatever we need to do, we need to make a play. So the biggest emphasis right now is just making sure that when we have an opportunity to make a play, we make the play.
What have you seen from your younger guys so far? Because I know in the spring you said you needed more out of them.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, they're playing much faster. Understanding the offense makes you play faster, and they're starting to execute it better. Just like anything, the speed of the game, the 50-50 balls, I mean, they need to continue to work on those and progress. But the execution of the offense, that's what they're doing. And I think, some of the guys from the Bryce Calhouns, Izzy, Moses, I mean, they're all playing faster. It's noticeable. And that's where I want them to be right now. If they continue to play fast, then they can help us.
Coach, Calhoun's a new guy on the
Yep.
team. What have you seen from him?
Like I said, he's got speed. And it's something that, you can appreciate. He can separate from people. So, like I said, he's learning techniques. He's still a young guy, understanding the routes and how you're supposed to run them and be efficient. So I'm really impressed with where he is right now. Just he's doing what he needs to do to put himself in a position to play.
When you look at your group, you kind of got 5 guys that sit at the top that have been in your system. Does that allow you, with that much experience, to give some younger guys more attention?
Well, I think the biggest thing that we have, when you start talking about the extra coaches, I mean, we have extra eyes now to look at those guys and continue to develop them. Where I might have been able to miss some of those things and may not have been able to address some of those things, we got eyes on those guys. And Coach Copeland's doing a great job just trying to make sure that he, is throwing his knowledge on those guys, and we're seeing results because of that.
You mentioned Coach Copeland. I was just wondering, bringing him in last month, how have you seen him contribute to the group so far?
When you got a guy with knowledge like that, that's huge. I mean, like I said, when I'm missing something, he's able to help pick up. And like I said, the more, when you have coaches like that on your staff and they, expertise is at the wide receiver position, we should be able to get some guys progressed a lot faster.
And just the analyst coaching change overall, how useful has that been for you guys as a team to have them be more hands-on?
Oh man, that's huge. It's huge. Well, like I said, I mean, you just can't put into words how important it is to be able to have guys when we run our threes, when we run our down the line guys, and we got really quality coaches down there doing, watching those guys technique, assignment. Some of our guys that have come in, they come in kind of late, but these guys are smart. They know what they're doing. They're on top of it. So, I mean, I'm not trying to speak, in front of, Coach Grimes or Coach Leipold, but I've been really, really happy with, the extra help that I've had.
Terry, with the big 3, so to speak, of Q, LJ, and Luke, we've seen what they are. You know what they are. They've produced. They've executed. They are who they are.
Yeah.
Is there one of them, and maybe you can't answer this, but is there one of them that you think has a better chance to make one final jump this year than the others?
That's something that I would have to talk to all 3 of them together with. I wouldn't want to share that for public consumption.
Sure.
But I tell you what, I'm really happy with the way that they've grown the leadership component. They're teaching other guys. I think that's the other part of this that's happening is those guys are teaching some of our 3s, our 4s, and those guys are getting better. So, with the extra coaches and with the leadership that I have in that room, it's been really good. So, but like I said, it doesn't matter unless we score points, efficient, creating separation and winning games. So, and I'm putting that on those top 3 guys.
In the spring, you talked about the challenges that how you can push them,
Yep.
especially such established guys. I wonder, do you start to see the urgency with them now?
I think they see the urgency just because, they're starting to count down, like some of these guys are counting down these practices and they realize they don't have, an infinite amount of opportunities to practice anymore, or be in the locker room. So they're trying to maximize it. And, and sometimes, when you're dealing with some things and practice doesn't go the way, they I won't say they they're upset, but they want to maximize their opportunity. And I go back to that 75% factor. That part's it's part of the equation. Every last one of those seniors know that 75% factor gets us in a position to win games. They've seen that. They believe in that. So as long as they go out there and they execute that part of it, I think we'll be just fine.
You had also mentioned giving them, the older guys, a chance to sit in on quarterback meetings. How have you seen that borne out, I guess, in the months since, or maybe in terms of greater understanding or whatever?
Well, I think, there's times where we just can't get it done as much as you like. But Coach Z and, those quarterbacks, they're all on my wide receivers just as well. So they pretty much coaching and they're talking. That think tank is happening all the time. So I'm really happy with that part of it too. There's a lot more communication that's happening with quarterbacks and wide receivers. That's I always say generally there's going to be plays in the game that we don't cover as coaches, that players have to make things happen. And there's enough conversation with this group, from the quarterbacks, the wide receivers, tight ends, that they'll be able to make those adjustments. So I'm really happy with where they are, even in spite of not being sitting in with the quarterbacks and having those types of meetings.
One of the last times we talked to Lance, he had said Keaton had made a couple catches. I don't know if the scrimmage or practice. What have you seen from Keaton?
He's progressing, really, really fast. He's in the mix. I put it this way, I do not have a problem with Keaton playing an entire game or the entire season. He's going to go hard. He's going to catch balls, but just like there's still a rhythm, technique, still kicking out some of those old high school habits. It's just like every young cat that gets into this game. So he's coming along, he's progressing. Shoot, by next year for sure, everybody be hearing his name, and he'll be doing a really good job for us.
You've got Daryl coming in,
Yep.
Jeff coming in.
Yep.
What's it been like integrating everybody? Kind of with a little bit of a new staff on.
Well, it's just been great because, like I said, Jeff's a veteran guy, and he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to motivate. He sees things before it happens. So you feel really good knowing that you can trust and come to him and throw some things on the board and then sort it out. And then once we get out on the field, it looks good. So anytime you get with veteran coaches like that, you sleep better at night.
Open-ended question, but has anybody in your room surprised you this camp so far?
No, I don't get surprised like that.
Yeah.
No, not in my years. I don't. You're either gonna, I see what I think you can do, and the biggest thing is I want you to beat what I think. I want you to move past what I think. Because like I said, I'm a coach. I'm always be worried about the negative scenario. And so my deal is, hey, beat what I'm thinking.